police officers arrested for the fatal shooting of Mthokozisi Ntumba during student protests in Braamfontein earlier this month are back in court today. They're expected to apply for bail in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court, where they face charges of murder, attempted murder, and defeating the ends of justice. Hasina Gori is there outside the court, of course, waiting for the appearance this morning. So let's get an understanding of what's set to happen. Of course, it's the bail application, but let's get an idea of how things are at the moment. Hasina, good morning to you. Up the sound there from Hasina. I think we'll have to just try and rectify that and try go back to it. It's a big story. Of course, this will be one of the big dominating stories of the day. We do know what happened at the universities, and this was, of course, happening just down the road here at Wits University. And that, of course, was where we saw the clashes between students and police. Police then opening fire on the protesting students. But unfortunately, this gentleman being caught in that crossfire. He was just walking out of a hospital. He'd just gone up for a checkup, and then unfortunately he was shot by the police. It was with rubber bullets, but there is an investigation that's taking place, and he did lose his life. So this is now what's taking center stage, and one can only imagine that there will be crowds gathering outside there, and a lot of attention focused on this particular appearance. But let's try once again. Let's see if we've got that sound up and running with Hasina. Hasina, getting a little bit of background about the story. Of course, it's something that I don't think we'll all forget very soon. It was a very dramatic story, and the footage that has been widely shared on social media basically showed exactly what went down. But I believe that this is not going to be shown today in that bail application. Let's get an update from you.
Good morning, Leanne. Let's try now to see if the sound and our technical issues are sorted. We're outside courtroom 13 at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court, where the 4 police officers are expected to appear once again. They appeared briefly last week at courtroom 11, where they were formally charged with 1 count of murder. That is for the death of Mthokozisi Ntumba. As you mentioned, this was the killing that took place just almost 2 weeks ago during that student protest when Ntumba was leaving the doctor's rooms after an appointment at my clinic in Braamfontein, and he was shot by a police officer with rubber bullets at least 3 times. We know from the doctors that we spoke to on the scene, he had a shot to the chest, as well as 1 to the side, as well as 1 on the right side of his face. These were just some of the injuries that he sustained. In the video, in that CCTV footage that you speak about, we see that he stumbled and then falls down, still holding that medication packet in his hand. So that is the one charge that the group are facing. The other is 3 of attempted murder. Those are for those students or protesters that were injured during the protest. We know that the same day Mthokozisi Ntumba died, just earlier that morning, police shot rubber bullets at student protesting as well, and 2 student journalists were also injured. Last week, we saw another female protester being injured on her leg, being taken to the Mill Park Hospital. We know that she had to undergo some kind of surgery or reconstructive surgery to her feet after that incident. I know that she was in a stable condition last week when we did speak to the student leaders. So these are some of the charges they're facing. They're also facing defeating the ends of justice. The state has said that they will be opposing bail, as this is a Schedule 5 offence, and the onus is on the accused to prove that they should be given bail. So that's what we're expecting to take place this morning in court. There hasn't been that group or that large number of protesters that we saw last week. We know that most students' protests have been suspended both at UJ as well as Wits this week, so we haven't seen them come out. But we know on social media as well that the support has been ongoing, and Ntumba was buried or laid to rest this weekend in Bergville in KwaZulu-Natal, and I'm sure the family will be here once again. I know that some were here last week, Many were preparing for the funeral, so hadn't come out to court. But for now, that's the scene that we're seeing this morning.
All right, Hasina Gori there reporting live from the courtroom there ahead of the appearance of those four police officers that are accused of the killing of Mthokozisi Ntumba. So we'll watch on that one. There's another